Hey folks, I just got done doing chores this morning, so feeding and giving away to everybody. And we went ahead and moved the feeder pigs. Normally we move on Sundays, but I'll explain here in a few why we went ahead and moved them today on a Friday. So this is the paddock that they just got moved to. We'll go ahead and start up at the corner. So you've got from that red gate corner there, slowly going down. That set of metal corners you can see way down there. Kind of see that wooden H brace way back there. Rolls up here, hits that gate, comes back past, and to that one. We've got rain almost every day this week, so I'm really hoping that we're kind of done with the rain for a little bit. We're not supposed to get any more till next week. This is the paddock we've struggled for a while to get to regrow to perennials. We get a lot of annuals in here every year. I don't mind it that much, but I don't like how muddy it is. You can see some of the seeds that we put in, and from all the hay. That's what all this is. Hay from where we fed last year out along all the bales along here. But it's just this front strip. This is a half-acre paddock. You see their buckets away, just threw right down in all that tall grass and fed, so they'll tramp that down. They just made it. They're quick workers. This is where we just fed them. Oh no, did I scare you? So you can see that they've just pushed down all the grass where we just fed them. I mean, it's nice and muddy out. Rained all night last night, and 16 225 250 pound pigs, they push things down. But they have got plenty of grass to go through. Those are 5-foot tall tree cages there, and there's maybe 18 inches of height on this whole half-acre paddock. You can see where we've got our willows here. That's a really low muddy spot, so I expect to see that kind of squished and turned up like the area we're about to go see. And then I'll come back this afternoon, get them a new straw bale for both of those shelters that they've got there, and probably go ahead and scatter some in a couple of these other muddier areas, like right around their water barrel and whatnot. Yeah, let's go look at where they just came from. All right, so this paddock is only about 1/10 of an acre. So we had 16 of those hogs, 225-ish, 250-ish pounds, from Monday morning through to Friday morning here. So it's about 3-4 days of grazing impact. And you can see the height on some of this stuff, same height as the rest of the field, that 18 to 24. Honestly, I put that to my hip. It's hard to see, but that goes well over my hip, up above the belt line. So actually, I'd probably say some of that's closer to 4 foot, to be honest. Yeah, not far off of it, at least 3. So we'll go ahead and give that a walk here. And you can see up here at the top, what we've got is they've just pushed all the grass down. You know, they've grazed what they wanted to graze. You can see some bite marks on some of like this nutsedge here. But then a lot of it just gets trampled over and pushed to the ground. And then we do have a couple of spots. This is where I actually, when I have sows in here, I feed a lot. So there's a lot of extra mineral here from what we give to piglets. So you can see there are these couple of little spots that they have kind of turned over the top of the soil. Still nothing as bad as what our traditional hogs did, but we just managed to get this established with some fresh seed. So I'm gonna swing by and grab some seed after work to scatter out in these areas. Then our areas, they've got their wallow, and then right around the gate where they stand and wait for me in the morning. And then up there, that's actually gravel that used to be the entrance to this little barn here. Their shelter got real gross right there in the rain last night for that little one. And then we're starting to get into where it bogs down. This area is actually, when it's raining, it's just standing water under here. And you can see there's a lot of buttercup and things like that that don't mind all that extra water. So I'm not surprised. But even then, you can see here that all of this, it's not like they just turned up all the dirt. They just pushed down the grass. And you know, when you walk through a mud puddle, you smash that down and the mud comes up and around your boot. That's what they've done here. So they've not turned this grass over. The only area that I saw any turning was maybe that 5-foot by 5-foot section up there. You know, that not a very big area. And all the rest of this, you can see there wouldn't even be any mud on top if it weren't for the fact that we've had rain nearly every day that they've been in here. And we've been feeding them in that concrete yard there. That way they'd have that shelter. So you can see right in front of that little entrance there, they've got that all crazy. But that way it kind of kept their feet out of the mud a little bit better. She just goes back through here right up to the back end of the sow yards that we just got done strawing. We've got lots of chestnuts planted in this one. But yeah, so that's, and again, like I said, we can come down and look. Now that's turned over. This is just smashed down grass into that mud. But now they're out of here. Now all this grass will just get to come right back up from the roots. You'll get a bit of that top layer dying down. I'm gonna go ahead and flip this around. Alrighty. Now that I've got all those gates closed, I actually tried filming this while I was trying to close all those gates and that did not work. So the main reason that we want to graze like that where we can, one, we don't have enough pigs for it to really be cropped down nice, close, and short, and that's okay. Because, like I said in the earlier video talking about our farm, our number one goal here at Green Thicket is to sequester carbon and build habitat. And honestly, I can't think of a better way, and I know I'm not alone in this, to sequester carbon than to trap all of this carbon that is built up. I went back and was looking through pictures, you know, a month and a half ago, this grass was less than 6 inches tall, and now it's, well, 24 to 36 inches tall, right? And it'll do that again. I mean, you go out there and you watch somebody cut hay, when I side stuff down, when you mow your yard, right? So you knock down that nice tall grass. This is about the height that it'll get for hay. Hopefully it dries out enough some folks can get some hay cut around here. We're really gonna need it, but it's just been so wet. It'll come right back. 45 days-ish, as long as the weather's right, we'll go ahead and get another cutting of hay. Same thing with this. We have knocked this down, except with hay, you know, you're taking all of that grass off, and that's totally fine because we bring in a lot of hay. We buy a lot of hay, but we're smashing this down. They're covering it either just right on top, laying it down, this is very similar to what you do in with a cover crop or a green manure with a roller crimper. They're rolling it down and then they're crimping it with their sharp little hooves. So they're smashing that stuff down in there. They're maybe getting a little bit of the mud and dirt over the top of it. And then all of that that's been smashed down will then die. The tops of it will, right? And then from that root mass that has now gotten to grow up to this point of that height that's got at least the equivalent, if not more, being a perennial grass or roots below the soil line, it'll pull up that energy. Some of those roots will die back, sequestering carbon from the roots. All that carbon from the top dies down and gets sequestered and eaten by earthworms and feeding the soil microbiome. And then it'll just put up some new shoots, and we'll come back and I'll do an update on this paddock just to show you, the difference. We will seed those couple of little patches, the maybe 5 or 6 potholes, whatever, that they made that are honestly just the top of the soil pushed to the side. I still can't believe our old pigs, we had Duroc and Berkshire pigs. They turned this whole paddock up in a day and made it look like I took a tiller through there. Could have went ahead and seeded corn or something in there. But yeah, it's not bad. And then another benefit too, right, is that all of this grass, I'll go ahead and pull one up there. That's all about ready to cast seed anyways. It's not far off. So I know that if you're cutting this for hay, you get a bunch of that hay, that sprouts up seed. So I cannot imagine that we didn't just also tramp down an absolute massive minimum of 25 to 50 pound bag of mixed grass seed into the pasture just from those seed heads. So whatever remains, anything that dries up there, the birds will go ahead and come in and eat. This also kicked up a ton of bugs. The bluebirds have been going crazy in that paddock, trying to catch all the little worms. The robins have been going crazy. So we get a little bit of that open ground habitat that brings in, similar to the disturbance that you'd get after, the bison were to smash through somewhere. But it's only in a little 10th acre paddock. So everything else is still nice and protected. This will happen once every 8 weeks to a paddock. So there is 2 months of downtime where nothing is in there grazing, nothing is in there destroying that grass, and smashing it down, where wildlife just gets to do their thing. And then now they get a disturbance in the soil and environment, and then it immediately gets to go right back to it, because I won't put any more pigs in here for that about 8 week period. So, all right. You know, if you're enjoying this content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the like on this video if this is something you'd like to see more of. I can usually take a couple of minutes right before I head in every now and then to do a little video like this. Yeah, y'all have a good day.